The Midshipmen opened their season last week against Colgate. Navy won the game 48-10. Navy has an open date this week. Their next game will be September 19th against East Carolina in their first conference game. Coach, thank you so much for joining us on the call this morning. If you would take a minute to tie up the win against Colgate, and tell us your plans as you have the early open date, please, as you get ready for East Carolina.
Well, thank you. But it was a great win, great way to start the season. I thought our kids played well. We had a lot of young guys on defense, 2 young corners, and I thought they played really well. We didn't have a very good start to start the game. We dropped the kickoff return, kind of dropped the ball there, and then we had a fumble, but I thought our offense responded. And, to win, like that was great for our kids. We were able to get, some younger guys in the football game. Plus, we didn't get any injuries, so we're definitely grateful for that. And to start the season off 1-0 is all of our goals. Everybody that plays, so we're grateful for that. And this week we're gonna, prepare for East Carolina, try to get healthy, try to get stronger and faster as we prepare for East Carolina team that we know is very good. We know Coach Ruffin very well, and know those guys will be ready. And that's our approach right now. We're just going to try to get rested as we also prepare for East Carolina.
We'll take questions for Coach Niumatalolo. Please hit *1 on your telephone to join the queue, and then the operator will introduce you. And we can go ahead with questions, please.
We'll take our first question from Christopher Heidel with HERB FM Radio, Baltimore.
Hey, Coach Ken, talk about congratulations on the big win on Saturday. What do you guys have to work on this week? Because I know you have an off week, and trying to keep kids motivated for the next week against East Carolina. What do you have to do to keep the ball rolling?
Well, we felt like, offensively we had some mental errors early on in the game. We weren't really sure how, Colgate was going to come out and line up, and it took us a while to get, settled down a little bit. So we got to continue to work on our assignments, make sure that we're solid there. Defensively, with the new defensive coordinator, we're continuing trying to make sure that we're all on the same page, both our staff and our players. This early in the season, we just want to make sure that we continue to get stronger and faster from a physical standpoint. Because you're either, it's old coach cliche, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. So we want to make sure we're getting stronger as the season progresses, get some recovery, and we just continue to go. I mean, there's definitely a lot of motivation knowing that in 2 weeks we're going to have our first conference game, and we want to make sure that we're ready.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Chris.
We'll go next to Bill Wagner with the Baltimore Sun Media Group.
Hey, Ken, was there anybody that maybe surprised you on Saturday? Maybe some younger players that obviously you had not seen in a game situation that, maybe caught your eye and you thought, hey, they played pretty well in their first live battle?
Well, I thought our 2 young corners, we had 2, basically freshman corners playing, and I thought that both Sean Williams and Elijah Merchant both played very well at corners. We actually had, you can say 7 guys on defense that never really played before, and I thought they all played well. Really, really happy with our outside linebacker positions, especially at our Raider spot with, DJ Palmore, AK, and Kevin McCoy. Obviously Kevin McCoy had some huge plays. First, a forced turnover caused a fumble, and he had that return for a touchdown. So, thought a lot of guys did a lot of good things. So you talk about surprising. Those are the things that are kind of surprising. Just a lot of young guys that hadn't played before: Josiah Powell, Micah Thomas, Laurentius Barber, and they acquitted themselves well. I was very happy about that. And Jarvis Polo, who's a young freshman D lineman that's really come on strong the last 2 weeks, and he's going to be a big factor for us as the season progresses.
We'll go next to Ronnie Howard with the Greenville Daily Reflector.
Hey, Coach. Are do you like having a bye week this early in the year? If you ran into that in the past, seasons, and then I imagine you'll probably watch East Carolina, Florida on Saturday. Is there anything particular or a few things you'll kind of be looking for when you watch East Carolina play?
Oh, we'll definitely watch them play. Like I said, we have a great amount of respect for Coach Ruff, and we, played them a couple times in the past, and so we kind of know a little bit of their philosophy. But everybody changes every year. Everybody tweaks different things. So we'll definitely watch that. The bye comes where it is. We've had it in different times over the years, and my approach is not to really, put too much stock into it. Don't, make a big deal out of it with your players. Just make the best you can out of it. Make the most you can out of it. Obviously, if you're playing well, you want to continue to keep playing. But with us having this bye, we're going to try to use it to the best of our advantage, get some rest, physically and mentally, try to prepare for East Carolina and be the best we can in a couple of weeks to play the Pirates.
Okay. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
We'll go now to Ken Kreitzer with Sons of the American Legion Radio.
Oh, hi, Coach. Nice to say hello again. You had a pretty good rushing day as a team Saturday, 371 yards, but Keenan Reynolds had 21 yards net. Were you trying to use more of his teammates in the backfield to carry the rushing load?
No, a lot of it is, we're going to take what people give us, and so we recognize that, people will probably be keen on Keenan. And so, we just, we're an option football team. And so we just kind of see what people are giving us and we attack it. That's always been our approach. It's the way, Coach Jasper, calls plays. And basically it's how people are lining up. And, we feel like we have three really good fullbacks, especially Chris Swain. But his two backups, and Quentin Zell and Sean White, are, two guys that are 250 plus. And so we feel like we have some fullbacks that we got to take advantage of too. And so, plus it's going to be a long season. Keenan's going to get his carries. And so, we just try to let things unfold, but also recognizing that we have other options.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
And do we have any other questions for Coach Niumatalolo, please? Well, Coach, thank you for your time this week. Enjoy the bye week and look forward to talking to you again next Monday.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, again, that is Coach Ken Niumatalolo from Navy, the midshipman, again, with an